rhesus monkeys were taken from their mother soon after birth and put in cages with two inanimate surrogate, quote, mothers. One was a bare wire figure with a square plastic head. It offered 24-hour access to milk. The other figure was layered with soft terry cloth and had a round face with big eyes and a smile. But it offered no food. The monkeys spent nearly all their time cuddling and embracing the terry cloth surrogate. They left it only to feed quickly at the bare wire mother. The researchers then took the terry cloth mother away for up to 9 months. The babies eventually lost interest in eating. They behaved erratically. They curled up in a ball. Vital body rhythms, heart, respiration, sleep, were disrupted. Like the orphanage babies and my widowed father, they died from failure to thrive. The results of these studies clearly show that babies need more than just caretaking to develop normally. They need to meet another's gaze, to be held close, to hear the lilt of a voice and the beat of a heart. Like all primates, humans are pack animals. We all have our tribes, whether family, congregation, friends, workplace, or team. We need connection today as much as we did when our ancestors lived in caves. And it's not just infants, of course. Like the case of my own parents, long marriages that end with a spouse passing can often catalyze the death of the widow or widower. My mother's presence provided something more essential to my father than food, water, or sleep. On a July afternoon in 2009, a few years before my parents died, I found myself in a large white tent outside what was then called AT&T Park in San Francisco. There, a group of middle-aged former baseball players were gathered for a reunion. Some were businessmen now. Some still made their living in baseball. There were a few jowls, a smattering of beer bellies. 2 or 3 looked like they could still leg out a slow grounder. Bursts of laughter punctuated the conversations, the familiar give and take, and something else. I could hear it in their voices and see it on their faces, exactly as I remembered. They still loved each other. 20 years earlier, these men had drenched each other with champagne as the 1989 National League champions. I was a youngish sports columnist for the San Francisco Examiner at the time, but that season and those players have stayed with me throughout my career. As with every romance in my life, I fell first for their story. They were a junk drawer jumble of a team, rife with factions that had the potential to split the clubhouse. Hard-drinking carousers and born-again Christians, African Americans and Southern whites, Latinos from 3 different countries, college guys and functional illiterates, ambitious youngsters jockeying for roster spots, and fading veterans trying to hold on. I never knew exactly what I'd find when I pushed open the clubhouse door back then. Maybe it would be the portly ace pitcher perched on the exercise bike with a Parliament in one hand and the Chronicles crossword puzzle in the other. Or the kid from New Orleans with the lopsided grin tossing insults in his happy, high-pitched screech. Or the 6 feet 6 inch snarl of a man whose teammates called Buffy, to his great irritation, barking again at the beat writers for some obscure slight. At least one of the Christian players, God squatters we called them, would have his head in his Bible, perhaps reciting a prayer for whichever teammate thought it'd be funny to slip a pornographic photo into Leviticus. I'd surely see the hairy, funny veteran everyone called Caveman hobbling toward the trainer's room for treatment on his scarred, patched, curbside couch of a body. Their unlikely star that year was a gold-toothed former gangbanger who had been traded twice in 7 months, nearly quit the game, and then found redemption among these men in the dank, concrete clubhouse in the bowels of Old Candlestick Park. The ringleader, den mother, and raconteur of that team was a cop's son named Mike Krukow, a pitcher whose arm was so shredded by '89 that he couldn't raise it high enough to comb his hair. But he still loved the game like a kid and seemed to know exactly what a teammate